Hello, everyone. Welcome to the At This Moment podcast with me, Jim Jefferies. I'm here with Amos Gill. We have a banger of a show ahead of us. We talk about the war in Iran. We talk to Jack from The Snake, the latest contestant.
He had nothing to do with that, by the way.
Yeah, he didn't start the war. Don't try to piece those things together. And we talk a little bit about our personal lives as well. Before we carry on with the show, Gilly, you got any shows that you want to promote?
Yes, I'm desperate for you people to come and see me in Chicago at Zany's. I'm going to be there in July, and those dates are the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. So come out to Zany's, see me there, and then Just for Laughs, Montreal. I'm doing my own show and the Nasty Show, and Jim, he's got a bunch of shows other than the whole European tour.
Okay, so just coming up in America, on the 27th, I have Rockford, Illinois. On the 28th, I have Bristol, Virginia. The 25th, I have Maui, Hawaii, and then the 26th of July, I have Honolulu, Hawaii. And then apart from that, go to jimjefferies.com because there has been a whole new tour that has been put out there. We're talking all across Europe, every bit of Europe. We're talking every bit of the UK. This is the most extensive European and UK tour I have ever done in my life. I'll be going to Croatia for Amos, just so he can see some family members. That'll sell 2 or 3 tickets for us. Amos is going to be opening up in Europe, but we're going to have Glenn Wool and Andrew Maxwell as the opening acts across the UK. Let's start the podcast, folks.
And we've got a lot of cool dates coming up. So if I could just send a message to America, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, and Iran, just chill. Summer's starting. Just relax.
Yeah, don't ruin Europe for us. Don't ruin Europe. I'm coming.
I mean, people want to chill. It's summer.
Yeah, I have a couple of gigs there that are in the Middle East as well. So just calm down.
Everyone has made their point. Let's fucking wind it back. Have an Aperol spritz. Have a little bit of antipasta. Put on this podcast and enjoy. Okay, Jim, so I thought I'd start off with some pretty distressing news from around the world. Right. I obviously speak of Will Smith's new song.
What's happened? It's called... I haven't heard any of this. Can we get sued for playing this?
10 seconds, is that enough? Is that legally okay?
Right.
I'm happy to lose it.
The gist is I like pretty girls.
He likes pretty girls.
Yeah.
He loves them.
Don't listen to the rumors.
Everything else is a lie.
I like pretty girls. Even bitches with no hair, am I right?
You can fuck them all. Any kind.
And then,
as long as they're not yucky men.
And then the girls in the video clip are average girls.
To be fair, he's so straight, he likes all different kinds of looking women.
Oh, yeah.
So you're actually kind of gay because you only like a few
I've heard
women.
rumours, but I've never... Look, I just think he's an asshole for slapping Chris Rock. I was off the guy. Game over for me then.
It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
One of the most insane things ever. His apology fucking sucked dicks, and the way that he got up on stage and then just sort of went, well, I was just protecting my people, the people I care about. It was a fucking nothing joke about baldness, and as someone who's going bald, has had a hair transplant, has had people fucking tell me about their baldness, I have no pity.
As a man who follows this on X, it's called Hater Report. It says, I have no idea what possessed Will Smith to try and make new music. This has 36 million views on the film clip, and people are very unkind to the new song. But I mean, at some point you've got to stop with the rap.
If my stand-up could get 36 million hits and people could all say they hit it, let's go.
It's still ratings.
Let's go. Look, this clip right now is going to get maybe fucking 20,000 hits on fucking Instagram. I don't care if people like it. Give us 20 million and hate it.
Well, call him a racial name and it can get millions.
I don't like Will Smith. Fuck him. Fuck him, man.
Jack,
slapping a bloke.
He's a real, and then if you could add a beep, and then people might think something horrible had been said and we can be watched. Nah, he seems like a real... I mean, you got to walk away from the rap game, don't you? What was he like? Because he had Wild Wild West.
But also, his raps used to be always like, oh, hey, oh, Wild Wild West. Men in Black. Here comes the Men in Black.
But this song is, they're kind of like, he's out there going, I like girls, different girls, pretty girls. Now rap is like, I like to eat ass till there's shit in my eyes. It's like, it's still pretty soft, you know.
until there's shit in your eyes.
I want pink eye from a bitch or whatever's going on out there.
All right. My son's got a couple of friends over.
Are they still in that bedroom?
We don't know, but they're within the vicinity.
The only thing
where they hear Dad's friend is yelling out, "I like to give bitches pink eye."
I think the real embarrassing thing would be like, I think your dad listens to Will Smith's rap.
I like pretty girls. Yeah, but you got to understand that to my son's age, hearing a new Will Smith song is like when I was young hearing a new
Marvin
Paul
Gaye,
McCartney tune. You know what I mean? Like it's that amount of distance from his first album. The Tick Tick Boom song used to be with Jazzy Jeff. Is Jazzy Jeff still involved?
I don't think so. I think he's gone out solo. Much like Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, a great partnership has been broken and the art has suffered because of that. That's just my opinion.
I miss Jazzy Jeff.
I miss Stephen Merchant. To each, we miss collaborators.
Why don't we get Jazzy Jeff and Stephen Merchant to come together and do something like that?
Make a great song.
Yeah, called The
About
Office
paper merchants.
Bitches.
All right, now let's get into actually what's been going on. We do have a format that I like to stick to. So, Jim, I'd like to start off by asking you what's been happening.
We've never done Cunt of the Week. We've talked about doing it for weeks. We've never even found one.
It's very hard to label someone as the cunt of the week when there's sort of genocide happening around the world.
How about we just label which one of us has been more cunty this week?
Do that.
That way, no one loses.
Except for all the DMs I get of people going, Jim told me to call you a cunt.
Oh, I can get that done. Don't worry about that.
I know you do. You have that power over me.
I do.
You wield it and you love it.
I do.
Nasty, man.
All right.
I'll tell you what's been happening with me. This is a fun one. And then you can start.
Okay.
So I was in Austin.
Yeah.
And
sucking the corporate cock out there, weren't you?
If anybody's ever been to Austin, the 6th Street.
I like it because of the food and it's a bit more different.
Breakfast park.
Yeah, and the taxes have nothing to do with it. It's just the vibe.
Now hold on. You're telling me I'm sucking corporate cock. We just are about to do an episode with Fox.
Yeah.
So I was out there performing stand-up comedy.
Mate, if you could host a show on Fox or any of the major networks, I'd say the same thing to you.
I know no one's looking for me. I know that.
Exactly.
Listen, there's a lot of people that get called sellouts.
I might suck corporate cocks, but at least the cock's whipped out for me.
Do you bring it to completion?
You're one. They're not even showing it to you.
I know.
Carry on. So you were down there going, Austin. Okay, so you're down.
I was on 6th Street.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely.
Which is like your
rammed.
home ground, like your home club type of thing.
Yeah, well, that's where the Comedy Mothership is, which I had a great time at.
Yeah.
Unbelievable club.
Yeah, it's meant to be a very nice comedy club.
It's fucking exceptional. And I got out and I was actually pretty pissed. And it was 35 minutes to get an Uber to where I was going, which. I was hammered. I drank a lot of Buffalo Trace whiskey and Bud Light. And I'm looking, I've got to get back to a house party somewhere. So I hit the first available Uber that I could get. What I didn't realize, it was a shared.
Oh, yes.
Which you as a man of means would have never experienced what shared Uber is.
I wasn't born a man of means.
I'm not saying you were born a man of means. I'm saying you acquired wealth at a time where Uber...
Yes. Ever since Uber's been around, I've done all right.
You've been able to have the ride alone.
Yeah. Within the Uber history. But I remember,
don't worry, I'm not throwing you under the bus as some billionaire here.
I remember having to call up taxis and wait for 40 minutes and then not being able to see them on a little map on my phone. It was like the Stone Age.
And so I didn't realise I'd ordered a share.
My grandfather rode around on a horse. Carry on.
And so I'm sitting in the car. I've got headphones in and I'm listening to a podcast. And the driver just stops. And I'm like, oh, this isn't it, mate. And he goes, it's a shared. At which point the door flings open.
I didn't know this was a thing.
The door flings open. And two of the drunkest blonde women in cowboy boots who have been on a hen's night.
They were probably good fun girls.
They get thrown into the cab. And the boyfriend, he hops in as well. So it's middle seat is her. I'm on a window. This boyfriend's here and there's another drunk girl at the front, right? This girl is like this. Oh, we're going. Where are we going? She's now basically asleep on me. And I'm just sitting there listening to my headphones. She wakes up as the car is moving from the inertia. Her head clacks back. She wakes up. She sees that she's on top of me and she goes, there's a man trying to rape me. And then I had to go, hello, it's you're in a shared Uber.
I'd have to be there to pass judgment on what happened. I can't definitively say that she was lying.
I'm listening.
So why did she think you were trying to rape?
Because, dude, imagine being so hammered you get put into a car and then as the car takes off, you come to from passing out and there's just a random guy watching a podcast next to you on a journey.
Yes, the podcast would set me off. There's no one ever tried to rape someone whilst listening to a podcast.
I was listening to Rory Sutherland's marketing advice.
With headphones on.
So then the boyfriend goes, babe, you're just in a shared car. And then she's like, why did she get shared? And I'm going, what's a good point? If you're for all of us, why did we get shared?
Because you had to wait 40 minutes.
Because you had to wait 40 minutes as well. Then the friend is like, who are you? What do you do? I said, I'm just out here from Australia, right? They start immediately saying, no.
Yeah,
no.
People love saying that we put an E on the end of no.
No. So they
Nay.
now I've got two women yelling no, and then I've got a boyfriend in the car who goes, sorry, mate.
But Forrest, but Amos, nay means nay.
You can't be dropping out your ex's
No
name.
means nay.
Yeah. Anyway, she vomits.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So the boyfriend's just clawing up the vomit.
Oh yes.
Right?
So whose Uber rating goes down for that?
I think I lose as well.
Yeah.
Because we're like attributed together. But it's kind of one of the most horrific rides in a car I've ever had in my entire life. Now you kind of are an Uber Black man at all times.
Yes. I like.
Huh? Isn't that nice?
I like the Uber Black. Yes. Because they don't talk to you as much. Mind you, they're stricter on you. You do get worse ratings from Uber Black. But if you leave them waiting or something like that, they're all like, "Oh, this is my time." Where normal rating people are all right. I had a bad Uber rating for a while because I had a girlfriend who I used to send her Ubers to come over to the house, and she used to just leave them sitting out there for 15 minutes. Then she'd bring a dog on the fucking car. Don't get me started. But no, I Uber Black to answer your question.
So anyway, my point is I didn't commit a sexual assault. I was just...
Well, I don't know why you're bringing it up. No one said you did. You keep bringing it up.
I'm just getting it out there. I did open saying she accused me of rape. She was merely on top of me in a shared
Did
facility.
she get her vomit on you?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, I reckon that makes everything even.
There's only one person who put their body fluids on someone else without permission, and it was her.
Do you call vomit body fluids? I guess bile.
What's worse, cum or vomit?
My son's got a sleepover happening right now.
I don't know. That could be a segment on the snake. I don't know.
So what's the segment? Cum or vomit?
Cum or vomit?
Cum or vomit? I would rather have.
I think semen is nicer than vomit.
Strangers.
If it's both strangers.
Okay. No.
What would you rather? You've got a cup of my jism or a cup of my biley vomit.
Would you rather cum on yourself or vomit on yourself?
Cum.
Cum, of course.
Yes.
Right? Now, I'm doing it. Would you rather me cum on you or vomit on you?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I have to go with the vomit.
And I'm going to throw piss in there as option number 3. Urinate?
I think you piss.
Yeah, because they reckon it comes out pretty clean.
Because like there is situations, it's sterile.
Now, while I'm pissing on you, am I allowed to call you whatever name I want, or what's the scenario there?
Well, in all of these scenarios, by the way, I'm on my knees with my mouth open going, I'm a good boy and I'm hungry.
So I'll stick with the vomit. I'll feed you like a baby bird.
That's what I'm saying. There's lots of factors on the way the person is receiving the fluids.
But what I can tell you, I've been on this earth long enough to know shit comes last.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to say, and they say you and I disagree.
Out of semen, vomit, and urine, shit's the worst of the 4. What about, here we go, here's one for you. What about deep yellow phlegm, throat infection phlegm? Mm-hmm. You know that stuff that you cough it up in the sink, it's against the white porcelain, it really pops. Mm. The yellow stuff, the contagious stuff.
Still shit is worse than that.
But, okay, now, deep yellow cum.
So there's an infection in the testicles.
Infected cum or infected bile. These are your 2 options.
Is that possible?
Infected shit. Jack, have you ever seen infected shit?
Can you just pull up, can you have infected semen that comes out like a green colour?
Of course you can. What do you think? Syphilis, gonorhea, all
yeah,
this
but it doesn't come out like phlegm, like yellow phlegm, does it?
Comes out. I've never had it, but I've known and seen enough cartoons in my day.
What cartoons have you watched where a man's having a wank and his penis burps out?
Some of the earlier Looney Tunes.
On Lola Bunny?
You can have yellow or green semen.
Oh,
of course,
my God. This is not how I hoped for this
in
podcast
the Navy.
Okay.
I've had ones with a little bit of blood in it.
Yeah, you've told me about
because
that.
I've worked the testicle too much.
So anyway, that's what happened to me. I shared Uber. My poverty knows no bounds. I can never do that again.
Hey, if that woman, if this podcast finds her and she wants to be a guest on the next podcast and tell her version of the story, reach out. Reach out.
Yeah, there was a man having a wank in the back of an Uber, and he had this sick
Also, if you're the Uber driver who got to watch it, what did he say?
Hey, he just kept his fucking head down and kept saying, "Oh, window."
I remember one time I was in an Uber and the guy was listening to the Comedy Channel and I came up on the channel, right? I'm doing stand up in the car and I'm sitting in the back like this, and he looks back at me and I'm like shaking my head. He goes, "I'm sorry, man. You don't mind cussing, do you?"
Yeah, this guy's not for everybody. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's not my cup of tea, but be something coming along.
What's been happening with you?
What did I do this week? I was off in Canada. I was doing some big gigs in Canada. I went to Regina. I went to a casino Rama. I went to Saskatoon. But apart from that, look, school holidays have started. When school holidays start, that's when I start the summer of Jim. I'm going to be doing things. You won't be able to fucking find me. I'll be so busy doing shit.
You got your kids. That's why you got your kids over here now. It begins.
I love summer
Your
holidays.
friends, yeah,
Best time of the year.
It's so fucking
best
good.
time of the year. Best time of the year. Get in a pool. You barbecue every day. You fucking best time of the year.
Well, I think we should get into what's happening in the world because
Okay.
yeah, obviously not that much happened in Regina. It's a,
All right.
it's a dull
are we
place.
going to speak to the snake
No,
contestant first?
we'll talk to the snake contestant at the end. Or we're going to
Okay,
speak to that now
at
because
the end.
we should probably get into what has been a huge week of news. It's hard to remember where we left off last time.
Well, it turns out that. Okay, do you remember like a couple of weeks ago when we were going, India and Pakistan are bombing each other? That's crazy. Isn't
That's
that
over.
yesterday's news?
yeah, well, it turns out Pakistan didn't need to do anything. Air India did enough to their own people. That was full on.
Ah, that was unpleasant. The guy who survived Air
It's the
India.
greatest story.
He's Bruce Willis from the movie Unbreakable. I think we've found a superhero. Because you see that plane crash, there is a mushroom cloud. There's so much fuel in that jet. They've just taken off. They need enough fuel for an 11-hour flight. Huge explosion. And then this guy finds himself on the ground like this. Oh, he's already out of hospital.
He was walking.
He's
There's a
out.
video of him walking away from the fireball. So apparently the fuselage cracked.
He didn't break a bone.
He actually said something. He was interviewed and he said, this is his exact words were, "It's good to be close to the exit door. Stay buckled in, but alert so you can move quickly." So he says he's unbuckled himself. The plane's cracked and then he's just been able to quickly get out before the bomb or the bomb, like, what is it, like the fireball took off.
He jumped out.
He just
right?
jumped out and kept walking. Everyone else is dead. His seat 11A.
I would have died. I would have been too busy putting my headphones back in their case. If you lose the case, you lose the cord. And if you lose the cord, they're fucking useless.
Yeah.
Right? So I would have been zipping them up before I jumped out.
Worried about where your passport is.
Yeah. I would have. The only thing that would have happened for me is I would have floated down on a cloud of weed and Xanax. If you've been on a plane with me before.
Well, that's what they said also, was he was a bit out of it. And that you've got more chance if you are out of it because your body's rubbery on impact.
I like that he didn't have a seatbelt on. He just jumped out. I've always thought that the seatbelt's there so that they know which one you are when you died. They can pair up. They go 2F. All right, that's that bloke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want you to.
It's not so much for our safety as for the administration of the corridor.
It's the same reason at the end of flights. It's like, can you put your chair in the upright position? It doesn't make you safer. It's just so that they don't have to do it later.
Is that what it is? Because
Of course.
And even this position here, isn't that so your head rams into the front and your spine basically kills you instantly?
I don't know, but
That's what I
if
heard.
you're facing the other way,
'Cause you like this.
push backwards. If you're in a seat that goes backwards in business class, you go back like that.
But the only one that lived was seat 11A, so I imagine that'll be sold out everywhere.
You've never flown business class, but in business class, if we crash, the air stewardess comes around and gives us all a hand job, just as a final.
As a sorry? Sorry about that.
Yeah, if you're a million miler. If you're a million miler,
If
they
you're
do
Delta
that
Diamond.
as you're going down. It's called the going down procedure.
You go down that slippery dip and they just send you off to a brothel.
Yeah.
Terribly sorry.
Yeah, when they say, and don't be bringing any of your stuff, I would be bringing my passport on that slippery dip all day. There's no way I wouldn't bring my iPad or anything. I'd just wear that cost.
But we've obviously so we had that, and you're right. We were saying, it's the end of the world with India, Pakistan, this nuclear reaction. Now we've
India,
got
Pakistan.
Israel, Iran actually kicked off.
And so Israel, I love how Israel just seemed to be acting like, we just decided this the other day. They must have been planning this for years. They knew.
Well, Bibi Netanyahu has been saying that Iran is near a nuclear bomb within 12, 13 months for about 30 years now. So they want this war with Iran. It's the final piece of their little puzzle.
So they go after. They bomb scientists' homes. They know where all the scientists are. They know where generals are, on top of stuff. It was the most targeted fucking attack that I've seen in my lifetime, where they really actually.
So you saw how they took it. They basically went into the apartment complex of one of the top scientists, and all I could think when I saw that is, it's not a lot of money in top science. It wasn't.
Oh no!
It's like this guy can't get a house on the hills.
This guy isn't a top scientist. Like the guy who invented COVID, he lives in a penthouse.
It's harder to get.
Yeah.
But if you're a nuclear scientist and you're at war with Israel, don't go back to your house.
Yeah, but also you're a nuclear scientist at war with Israel. Okay, what do you need nuclear scientists for? We've already invented the atom bomb. It's been invented. Just isn't there somewhere online where you can just
like the Anarchist Handbook? How there's just like a booklet of building your nukes for dummies?
Surely there's someone you can ring up over the last 80 fucking years since we dropped the last one. 80 years. Surely there's someone you can ring up and go, so what was that? Masking tape? How did you put it together?
Oh, yes. It's on the Amazon, that book, So You Want to Commit a Genocide.
No, but I'm saying, do you need scientists? It's like, I don't need an architect to figure out how to do the Eiffel Tower. I just ring up one of the blokes who built the Eiffel Tower. You know what I mean?
What, so you think you just basically get 1 litre of weird green goo?
I'm just saying you don't need scientists.
And a match
maybe you need uranium. Of course you need uranium.
Just stop. This is Jim Jefferies.
You need a bucket full of nails.
Nuclear bomb recipe. Here we go.
Bucket full of nails.
Just call him.
Yeah, bucket of uranium.
Okay.
Fucking 2 wheelie bins back to back, so the wheels are on the outside at either end. You got to weld them together. Throw all that stuff in the middle. Shake it up like a Coke can.
Yeah.
And drop it.
Tazy, get the kids to a safe house. We're going to get hit. This guy's a scientist.
I'm just saying.
We have minutes before that bomb comes in here.
I've come up with that, and I have no scientific background.
Really?
So
It is shocking.
Imagine someone who had some scientific nous, how they would do.
Wow.
Oh, it's scary. It's scary to know that's out there.
No, but seriously, bud. What do they need them for? There's no one telling them how to make one.
Yeah, then they get killed. Then they get murdered. It's a dangerous gig.
To do it is the nuclear scientist. That's the guy who knows how to
That's the whole plot of Batman Rises.
It's a nuclear scientist. That's the whole point of that. How long does it take to build one of these things? Like, I've built a bit of Lego, right? You just get to it. Like, sometimes it takes you longer than others. You get distracted.
So you're having an issue with the Ayatollah's work rate. You don't think he wants it enough?
I've never understood, like, with terrorist attacks, when they go like this, they go, the government foiled a plan that Al-Qaeda had been making for 18 months.
Sure.
And you're like, I imagine a lot of it is like Al-Qaeda going out to play laser tag and like doing other like zip, zap, zop or something like that, right? Because let's really break it down. Strap bomb to body, run onto train, and then stay on train, right? Like, what is the 18 months of fucking
get bomb
planning?
here.
Yeah, get bomb. Drop off
That's
bomb.
hard.
Drop off bomb. Walk away. Act like you're going up to the upper crust sandwich shop.
I just like that this is your take on terrorism at the moment is I just don't think they're working hard enough.
I don't.
You sound like you're calling in talkback radio, but for terrorism. I don't think the boys are putting in enough effort out there.
I'm just saying. I
don't think you guys want jihad enough.
I'm not a terrorist. I want that to be very, very apparent. Because if I was, things would already be blown up. I get things done.
I'm starting to doubt the Hezbollah leadership.
I'm a doer. These people aren't fucking doers.
Are these virgins? They're being offered enough of a contract for these boys to put their head over it.
How long do you think it takes? Because as you said, they've been trying to make one in Iran for years. How long do you think it takes to make a nuclear bomb?
Well, it depends on which people you're talking. For you and I, infinity.
Yeah, but we'd have to make some calls.
And who would you start with? You go, I've decided I'm really pissed off. I want to build my nuclear bomb. Go on. Who do you call?
I know people in the military. I've done gigs in the military.
All right.
They'd be able to give me onto someone. I'd ring my mate Rob O'Neill, who killed bin Laden. Go, did you see anything? And if so, what did you reckon it looked like?
Like, did you happen to see the ingredients list? It's not fucking carrot cake.
Okay. First things first, me and you sit down and we watch Oppenheimer. right?
good, yeah.
And we cut out all the bits about his relationships and girls and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
We go straight to the Manhattan Project, right? We start looking at documentaries on that. Then me and you have contacts in Australia. Where's most of the uranium in the world?
In Australia?
In Australia,
It is in Australia.
right? In Australia. We get some of that. I don't know what that looks like, but we get a box like that red box there.
Uranium on.
Yeah, but we will get the good Australian stuff.
You keep talking.
So we'll get some uranium. Then, as I said, couple of bins welded together, box of nails. Like, well, I don't understand what's so difficult.
I also just put into ChatGPT right now, how do you make a nuclear bomb? And it corrected to shelter. We don't want shelter. We
No,
want
we
bomb.
don't.
Oh, it won't even bring that up. That's internet censorship of the worst variety.
You have the guardrails. You have to like work around.
That's
Like a
the
character in a movie. If I was a scientist, how would I feel?
Yeah. Nah, look, I don't want to look into that because my visa's currently up for grabs. So let's put that away. But yeah, it is somewhat of a dark time watching Israel and
Anyway,
Iran flinging back and forth.
And Iran. So they did these missiles. They got rid of buildings and got rid of different things. And then Iran goes, oh, we're going to come back here. They sent 100 drones, which I think 95% of them got fucking shot down. Like a very high number of them got shot down.
Of course, they got the Golden
And you could
Dome
see
there.
them. It was just like that game Space Invaders. Shooting them.
And every time one of those go off-
Missile Command was the game, right? You shoot the missiles before it hits down. And then
That's $500,000 a pop, by the way, every one of them. Interceptors, if not
one
more.
of those missiles did hit the equivalent of the Israeli Pentagon, got hit, but it doesn't feel like an equal blow back to the amount of damage that Iran did. So if you were to say who was losing so this far, Iran's not doing as well in the battle.
Yes, well, Israel's obviously got America's weapons there. And then the real interesting thing is if this is Donald
Now,
Trump's legacy. This is Trump's legacy right here. There is the America First contingent that does not want to be drawn into World War III.
Sure.
We saw what happened with Iraq. We got dragged in on that one. The propaganda machine came all out. Bad guys, bad guys, bad guys. Saddam, chemical weapons program, weapons of mass destruction. It's imminent. They could destroy us all. There's going to be more terrorist attacks. And now Iran, nuclear bomb. They're going to wipe us out. We have to go in there. You can already see the Fox Newses of the world, even the MSNBCs. They're hitting the drums of war. Let's hope, or I hope anyway, that Donald Trump does not get us or commit us to fighting another regime change war there for another 20
so
fucking
how
years.
do you think this is going to all end?
Fucking fireball.
Prediction.
I don't know. It's really bad.
I think we're going to get a massive
we're gonna be involved in the
I think
war.
we get a massive terror attack in America because to try to get us involved.
For sure. I wouldn't be surprised if the Israelis tried to organise that.
I don't think. Yeah, I think it could be a bit of bullshit that happens to us. I believe Iran is outmatched and outnumbered, and if they just stop right now, they can probably save themselves a lot of time getting bombed a lot more.
Well, Donald Trump
and
stopped
I
the-
also think that Israel have been looking forward to this for a long time. I don't think it's. But I also think you should watch The Snake on Fox. And which brings us to...
There is no other time in the history of reality TV where the host has been like, yeah, there's going to be a fucking false flag attack to draw us into World War III. But anyway, if you're still alive after the blast and the fallout, The Snake.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jack from The Snake, everyone. Here he is.
There's that man.
Good to see you again, Jim.
Good to see you. One
Real
of
good
my
to see you
favourites
again.
from the show. I was always happy to see Jack. He always had a smile on his face. Great competitor. Jack becomes the snake in this week's episode. So hopefully you've already seen it
right.
because Jack's the snake, becoming our second snake. Jack invented the snake
I
handshake.
just
That
started
was-
attacking people, going. I liked it. I was ready for it.
So Catherine was the first snake. So let's go back. You watched the first episode. What did you think of yourself on camera? What did you think of the other contestants? What surprised you? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, Catherine really surprised me, as you saw. I mean, she's really good at lying out there. Like, I had no idea that she was saying any of these things. I feel stupid. I'm like, oh, wow, I will not trust anybody again, because every single person I think trusted Catherine is this sweet, nice gal, and she's just out here ripping us behind the scenes in the interviews.
I did see she was wearing a shirt in episode 2 we had an interview with her last week about her smutty novels for women.
Yes.
And
she writes an erotic fiction, if you didn't know.
Yeah, she writes
No,
erotic.
I don't know anything about her. I don't know.
And no one does. She tells you a lot of... In
I
one
thought she
part
was
of
this sweet cat lady. Turns out she's just mixing this pot of chaos in the background.
One of the things she tells, all my family are cops, and then she tells Brian, all my family are felons. And then we're on the podcast with us, and she goes, yeah, my parents were cops, and my cousins are all felons.
Yeah, she's an interesting one, but that's what she does for a living. She writes like 50 Shades of Grey. And so in this episode, number 2, she had a shirt that says something like "Real Women Read Smut" or something like that.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
see
that's what I noticed. Yeah, so she was out there. So I thought she might have read you guys some, bedtime stories or something and practiced it out.
I thought she was talking about how she makes a good sourdough loaf. And so she's like, yeah, you can come visit me in New York. We'll bake sourdough. And then I'm looking at these interviews. I'm like, what about the sourdough lessons? Like, she's just ripping
She's a long form sexter.
She probably, you don't want to know where she gets the yeast. Anyway, so her ride or die for the show was Jordan. We also Jordan in this episode is saved by Catherine. Catherine saved Jordan, made sure that Jordan was saved after Brian in the first episode, and then we see the Twitter. Like, you've all stayed in touch because I follow whatever contestant follows me. I follow back, right?
Yeah.
So I follow it
Huge.
a little bit.
When you followed me back, I'm like, there it is, Jim.
Yeah, you were my first. You were first, Jack. Anyway, but I haven't written to anyone. I haven't spoken to anyone. But I do like watching you all I
think you got to make them earn it a bit more. That's you're a bit keen, mate.
No, I just follow them back. If they follow me, I follow
Does
them back.
Ryan Seacrest
we love
follow
it.
people immediately?
Yeah, but look, if we get season 6 of the Snake, I'm going to lower down.
Then you can be aloof.
I can't be but season 1, you got to follow the OGs. Anyway, so I'm following Jordan, who we all know is a delight. Right?
Oh, Jordan's great.
Yeah, Jordan's a delight. And then Jordan tweeted out during episode 1, Catherine's a bitch.
Yeah, she just went for it.
She just, and no one loved Catherine more. She went, nah, Catherine's a bitch. It was all over. So the show starts. We go off to our first challenge of the episode, which is our first challenge where you had to eat something disgusting.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was all milkshakes. It was all blended up stuff. It stunk. It was about, in America, about 92 degrees Fahrenheit out there. It was warm.
Yeah, there's bugs everywhere. You're sweating. Your stomach already hurts. My stomach hurt from day one out there, from the get-go. They're like, eating challenge. I'm like, oh, great.
Did you get a parasite? A few people got a parasite on the trip.
I think I got a parasite off the plane because as soon as I stepped in, I don't know what was in that Argentinian food or water. Like, it was hurting from day one.
This is
living
interesting.
off Pepto.
Because I've always heard of the Argentinian food being like wonderful steaks, but everyone I've spoken
I think
to
in
about...
Buenos Aires. I think the number one steakhouse in the world is in Buenos Aires, like
Right.
Michelin star steakhouse, but not in Iguazu.
So the area that you were wasn't... No.
No, not in Iguazu.
No, whatever. They were doing their best, but it
No,
did not
in-
agree with
in-
me.
in-
So it was like
Just-
Springfield, Missouri of American cuisine.
I'll tell you what, if you wanted to do an expedition where you went and saw different types of dog shit, Iguazu's your place because there were so
Yeah,
many
like
dogs
stray
around.
dogs.
Stray dogs everywhere.
They're not even eating the steaks. You drop a piece of steak, they're like, nah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah. So what was your drink? Because they all were cocktail names. What did you have to drink? What was your first
I
drink?
had the spicy one, like the first
the
spicy.
picante.
Oh, you had one with a bit of wasabi in it.
It was
and
wasabi.
this-
It was like a cow tongue spice, then wasabi, Tabasco, kaboom. And so it was like on the bat, I went for the chug, and I was like, oh, this actually isn't that bad.
I
And
think
then,
we had
boom.
one contestant that was vegan as well, so they just had to eat jellyfish or something. They
Yeah,
got
but
some-
no, Pastor Jacob had the kimchi. I'm like, that's BS.
Yeah.
The kimchi's like, I would eat that on a Tuesday
What, they
night.
made like a religious exemption?
Yeah, because he didn't
He
eat
can eat
meat.
meat.
Dude. So if
Didn't
you have
eat
like
meat.
if you have an
Kimchi
Islamic
salad.
contestant, you can't do pig's arsehole or anything like that.
No,
That's an
no,
interesting
no,
way.
no,
We
no.
need more fundamentalist religious people on these shows as a workaround.
Like, could you imagine how long the original season of Fear Factor would have been if fucking vegans were involved?
I know, he's getting kimchi
You
salad.
got to
I'm like,
change.
that's easy.
You got to identify as soon as they go. We're going to have to eat this. Then you go. It's against my faith. We're doing a Muhammad drawing contest. I'm an Islamic.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
do
going to
that.
eat
Do that
tomatoes, but they're a little mouldy. So you had your cocktail, all the spices and stuff. Who were you up against? Who was your competitor?
I picked Mina. I was
Mina.
ready.
Okay,
I wanted her.
and this we didn't catch this on camera, and I've talked about this, but Mina started vomiting up, and that was I did have to hold her hair back. and she was vomiting
she's
in
like
a bucket.
holding her hair.
Yeah, I had
She's
to hold the
gone.
hair back. It's very weird. You never see Jeff Probst hold anyone's hair back.
No.
Anyway,
you were in it.
so we did it. Then they had the rancid eggs, right? So the people who got to the final, so it was you, Mac. Tell me if I got it wrong. I believe Cody was up there.
Cody, Brian,
Pastor
Jacob.
Pastor Jacob. Was Brett there? Was it Brett?
Devontae. Devontae was up there.
Devontae. So they all stood up there. They had a bucket behind them each. They had to have rancid. That was the name of it. Rancid eggs.
This is the century egg type thing, isn't
century eggs, yes.
it? Yeah, so they're like left underground and they're
from like the dinosaur age or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever it was.
I think there's parts of China where that's just sort of in kids' lunchboxes.
Or they were just
Yes, but because you have to take something to work with you. Anyway,
It's like
kids
these
in
rancid,
China. Okay.
green eggs.
Yeah, great. So you had to do 3 of them. I believe you woofed them down. You won the challenge. For all intents and purposes, you had won the challenge. I was happy with you winning the challenge. I had already put the medallion around your neck.
Yeah, I got the moment with you. You got the medallion over me. I'm like,
I was like this. You're a new snake. Jack
I'm just
the
trying not to
snake.
throw up on you.
Yeah,
You
so
know, like,
you're
it's
there
great.
with rancid eggs and some fucking cow tongue cocktail with wasabi in your stomach, and then I hear in my earpiece the producer go like this. Pastor,
what happened? I still don't know what happened.
Pastor Jacob has a problem.
And he basically called for the video ref. Is this
Yeah, he called in the video replay. He believed
in the
that
video replay.
he believed in his bucket there was some egg that someone had spat up, and he believed it was you. But
in his bucket, in his own bucket.
in his bucket.
Well, that
and he
does beg
said,
the question. I mean, did you?
Did
No,
you? I don't.
I kind of blacked out up there. It was so disgusting. Like everybody was kind of.
But for some reason, we had about 8 cameras, but no one could get the footage.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, wait a minute, like I don't think so. And I'm like, any replay
between
you need conclusive
me
evidence.
and you, Jack, and all the people that are listening, they said they couldn't find the footage. They couldn't prove who had eaten it and who hadn't eaten it. But I believe they just wanted you all to do it again. Now I can't prove this. I can't do because there had to be footage. And
That's
so,
conspiracy talk.
So I was wondering, is there not one
there
camera that
seemed to
got
be
it?
no one caught it, and the buckets were behind the bar, so no one could see if someone turned around and spat what bucket they'd spat in, and other buckets had spit in it. And so I got to tell the lovely information. I got to take the medallion off Jack and say, you all have to eat the rancid eggs again, because it's a competition. There's prize money involved.
And when you've won, you have to climb the mountain again.
Oh man!
I watched
'Cause it was
JJ
gross.
Spawn hit a 30-foot putt to win the US Open.
Yeah.
And imagine if they said, "Now go back there one more
No,
time."
one more time. You got to reach.
And I don't want to say that your eating of 3 rancid eggs was as good as JJ Spawn's US Open putt. However, in the context of the show,
However, he ate 6
you had
rancid
6
eggs.
of them.
Some
Right?
of them whole. I was just shooting
alright.
back.
Cody,
He was a pussy, the cowboy.
Cody just packed it in, Don't worry about Cody.
Cody's like,
We'll talk to Cody one episode. We'll have an episode with Cody coming up.
You need Cody on.
Yeah, Cody's good
I
day.
was weak as piss
But,
that from him, I
yeah,
thought.
I know. You tell him. He'll be, I don't know about that, Jim. You got
don't
rancid
know.
eggs.
I did not sign up for these.
Yeah, he'll do all that. Okay, so then you eat the rancid eggs. You get crowned official. And I love how Jacob was like this. It was just important that everything was fair and that, everything that. And I also, on this episode, I learned, like, why Jacob wants to have another child, and his wife has to go through fertility. He already has a little daughter, so that sort of touched me a little bit. There's things that happen on the show that I obviously didn't see when I was there. Mind you, it does feel like God's telling him something. If you,
I thought he might have been a fake pastor at this point. To be honest, people spread that rumor while we were out there. They're like, "What if he's not a real pastor?" And we're all like,
yeah,
"What if he is?" Like, so there was like half the season. I don't know.
Well,
He
if
could
he's
have
not
been.
if he's not a Catholic priest, in my eyes, he is a fake pastor. But
Well, a pastor and a priest are two different things.
I don't believe it. I mean, let's just go back to the.
I didn't
original
believe it out there at
Catholic
this point in
faith.
time. I was like, maybe he's not.
He's a very inclusive one. He's always wearing like a trans lives or a Black Lives Matter or a thing like he's
Inclusive pastor.
He's the inclusive pastor. That's his name.
That's what his thing is.
Because
pastor.
I said to him, because I got quite fond of Jacob. At the end of the show, I
Yeah,
said
he's
to him,
good.
I said, "Hey, Jacob," I said, "Mate," I said, "I'm not into religion. I'm not into people wearing the dog collar and all that type of stuff. But I said, mate, I said, I think you're a real good guy. And he goes, well, if you
He's a
ever
good
want,
guy.
he goes, if you ever want to come to the parish and just enjoy a good time with a lot of good people. And I went, well, sadly, I live in Los Angeles. He goes, we're in Orange County. And I'm like,
Yeah,
look,
he's
I
right
just don't
there.
want to
He's
go,
right next
mate.
to you.
I don't want to go. I was trying to bullshit me way. I was hoping he's from Indiana or some shit.
To be fair, I live 3 miles from Jim. He's never come to my place. Traffic's a nightmare.
Yeah,
Forget
but if
about
you
it.
gave a good speech.
That's
Anyway,
so
so you go through, you get the medallion, you're now the snake. Now, not only are you the snake, but you didn't find this out yet. The next thing that happens would have been about an hour later, 2 hours later. I was still wearing the pink outfit. I still looked like I was just
After you got painted by Brett.
like I had just come from an Easter party. And
Matching shoes.
And I've still got those pink
Got the
shoes.
matching.
The pink
Those are
shoes
sweet.
are all
That
right.
was the first thing I noticed. Like, Jim, there you go.
The pink shoes were nice. Yeah. So the next thing that happened was I'm standing at the front of the house. How did you like the digs? By the way, did you like?
Oh,
the
it was
house?
great. That was great. I mean, the sleeping part was weird when, no one really like sleeps. You got Brian up all night running around. You got like people, it's
Just
tough to
stealing
sleep
things.
at tight, just washing dishes, doing random things. Cody's snoring super loud. Like no one really sleeps there.
And so I'm out the front of the house, and I call you all out. I've got a gift for you. And we're out there, and we're standing next to a crate, and I go boom, and out pops Christine. Now Christine is a school teacher, and I believe she's a pageant girl. She used to do some pageants. So you'll see in some episodes coming up that Christine can answer a question longer and fuller than anyone I've ever met.
It's crazy.
Yes,
It's crazy.
She has, those pageant answers that are just like, well, I believe that a woman's job isn't just this. It isn't just that. Is anyone's job this or that? And you're like, nothing's been said, and then it just
Nice little circular reasoning.
Yeah,
Well,
circular
that brings me
reasoning.
to my next question for you, Jack, which is Israel and Iran. What do we do?
Don't, because if you give the right answer, it'll end quicker, and we'll have nothing to talk about on this podcast. Anyway,
That's the
so
inclusive pastor.
that's the inclusive podcast.
He'll answer it better than me.
So Christine came. What was your first impressions, and did people warm? Because it felt like people weren't very warm to her to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I had such a roller coaster of emotions with Christine where she popped out, and I mean, Cody's like in love with her from step one. I just hear next to me like, "Oh my God, who was that?" And I just can't stop laughing. He's like, "Whoa!" And then she was just perfect with everybody. Like she had something in common with every single person down the line. Like I took a little bit of high school French, forgot it all, and I kind of threw one out there. I was like, like said something in French. She's like, "Oh, I speak French," and she starts going to French. I'm like, she's a spawned robot from Jim or something that has something in common with everybody. Like I didn't buy it because she was too good, and then it turns out she is just like really like well-rounded. But
She is a Renaissance person. She had all the skills and all the stuff like that.
all the skills.
Cody-
Brett's like making waffles, and she's like, "Waffles are my favorite food." I'm like, "Are they really, or do you just like?" I didn't really buy it. It was like no matter what someone said, it was too good. Like right off the bat.
So Cody, Cowboy Cody,
Cowboy Cody's in love with her.
He was in love.
He was dreaming about breakfast at the Waffle House with her.
Well, buddy, I gotta tell you, that's one pretty.
I could take her out to Cracker Barrel and let her order whatever the hell she wants.
She can be the Jenny to my Forrest. So the two of them, I don't want to give anything away, but I think it heats up in the next episode a bit for those two. Now, so we don't have elimination ceremonies, do we, Jack? We're saving ceremony, folks.
Saving ceremonies, yeah.
Saving ceremony.
Those are the best.
And
Right
what I
up there
liked
next
about
to you.
this, what I liked about this, Jack, is the way it was framed on the episode was that there was some sort of union amongst the fellas, which was stop saving hot chicks, stop thinking with your dick, and only save the people for game reasons, not for reasons of
Hang
you
on.
wanting to flirt with
Gotta
them.
Do you have a
focus.
TV on in the background, Jack?
No, I'm actually at an airport right now. I had a buddy's wedding, so I'm so it's too loud I can
problem.
move.
Okay, so no, that's fine. No, that's fine.
That's all
right.
People can deal with it. I just so as Amos said, stop thinking with your dick. You gotta save anything now. We can't talk about what happens in the future episodes or whatever, but at this stage, you have a girl who has a crush on you, McLean. McLean, the cheerleader from the Indiana
Colts?
Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis
Big
Colts. Mac, she was in the bottom two from the first episode, and she scraped past the cop, and she got in there. And then been flirting with the young man, Jack. Jack, the first person Jack saves is, let me get this right, Brett.
Say Brett first.
Yeah, and then Brett obviously saved Devontae.
Saves Devontae.
That's how that happened.
Maybe not the smartest strategic move in thinking long term, but you're just trying to get through each day up there. You're like, I'm going to pick Brett. I like him, Devontae. Here's the three of us.
Brett,
F you all.
Devontae. And then I think there's a little bit that goes down. Maybe Amanda's picked. Amanda picks Derek, and Derek always picks because we all thought because first things first, you thought first in, first out, right? I'll get rid of Christine. She hasn't been that popular. She likes waffles.
Yeah.
She likes French. She's too good to be
too
true.
Good. Just send her out.
Just send her out because she'll be hard competition. Then I drop it on you. She didn't do a challenge, therefore she's not allowed to be voted out. And so did that change your game plan at all? Because at that stage, you were going to pick Brett anyway, right?
Completely. Yeah. Like that's what's so interesting about the snake is like you really only have control of the first one, and you can kind of control the rest of the snake if you tell people who you would eliminate, and everybody's kind of like, great, as long as it's not me, we'll just move someone. But after because at that point, it's like if I pick Devontae and picks Brett, if Brett's next, Brett's just throwing curveballs every single time up there because he thinks it's funny. Like him picking Mina, we were like, what? Like, so if I pick him first, I know at least he's going to pick Devontae, but I don't know what's going to happen if Brett's at the end of that chain going all the way down. And then I can't pick Christine. So I'm like, what's going to happen next?
All right. So we get down to the bottom. Christine's out. We get down to the bottom. It is Mina, which Mina, for some reason, was a really hard name for me to say when I first started.
You couldn't say it.
What do you say?
Mina? For like 2 days.
Mona was another one. And then I tried me saying Catherine. There's even times in the recordings where I'm just calling her Catherine because that's how it should be said. There's no one called Catherine. This is ridiculous.
I thought you were kidding the whole time that it was a Kiwi woman, and you kept saying Catherine.
because I haven't told you. Okay, so the way to say the word Catherine properly as an Australian is to say Catherine with a New Zealand accent.
Catherine.
A New Zealander would go, oh, hello, Catherine. Hello, Catherine. Nice to see you, Kithy.
And you're left there, and obviously Mina's sitting there looking at you, and you've got all the boys in your head going, don't think with your dick. So you're going, do I go with passion or do I go with play? And so obviously you decided to come to your senses and you got rid of Mina, which was...
Yeah, it's not rocket science. Like you got a bounty hunter and an NFL cheerleader. Like, I'm going cheerleader 10 times out of 10, no matter the strategy. You got a smoking on a blonde down there. It's cool and nice. Poor girl.
Oh, no, so I was setting it up the other way. I'm more of a Mina man.
No, meaner. Mighty meaner. No, Mina was super nice, but
I like Mina.
I liked Mina a lot too. People told me the whole day that they'd pick McLean. The whole entire time. You never know with the snake. They're like, oh, I'll save her. I'm like, great, just save McLean. Yeah. And no one does. And
I can't say.
It's a great surname as well. Is her name McLean?
Yeah. Her first name's McLean.
McLean.
Good name,
good
isn't it?
surname because you got John McLean from Die Hard.
Yeah, it's Jack McLean. John McLean.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's is your real name John?
Yeah, John.
So your couple name is John McLean.
Yes. You got it. Yeah, I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not say right now.
No, but if you were a couple, your couple name would be John McLean. That's a banger.
Mac train.
That's a banger.
The Mac train.
That like cowboy, Mr. McLean.
Yeah. Jack and Mac. Jack and Mac's a good name.
Well, I thought
Jack and Meaner doesn't roll off the tongue.
Jack and Meaner.
Jack and
John
Mac.
Meaner. Meaner John.
Mina John. No.
And can I ask, just on a human level with the family and friends and everything watching, are you doing watch parties for each episode? Does that wear off after the first one? How's the feedback been from the people in your life? Do they think you're going well?
Yeah, we did a big old watch party at my house, which was awesome. And every single time I came up, everyone's just laughing and cheering. And I have a lot of friends that don't watch reality TV, and they've been watching this, and they're like, "We're hooked. This is great." Like actually, like not even because of you. So everybody, we got the friends and family all locked in.
Not
and
even
it's been
because of
fun.
me. I don't think I've been a big pull for anyone.
No,
I'm just
you have,
saying.
Jim.
I'm
Yeah,
just
you have
saying.
the-
New week, new snake. How many
I got
times?
fired.
How many times did I have to say that over and over again? I'd be holding the
Over
Medine.
and over on it.
New week, new snake. Bit more intensity.
Put a bit more into it.
New week, new snake.
That's the best part is you'd get the things. I'd look at you. I'm like, what's next? You're like, I don't know, mate. I don't know what's going on here either. Like,
I was waiting to be fed instructions.
Like,
Yeah, what am I meant
he's
to do,
like,
Jim?
shit, I don't know.
Can I, before we finish, can I just request one thing of you? Can we see with the hat forward? Can you break
No
the
one-
bands for
no
me?
one's
Do you want-
ever
no,
seen
I
it.
got
No
hair,
one-
I
He's
swear.
got hair. He's got
he's got
great
hair. I just want to see what it's like with the front hat.
Oh, he's a different dude. Different dude. Too aggressive.
I don't
Too
like it.
aggressive.
So
Yeah, no.
it's so lacking chill.
No, you know, that guy's not getting a cheerleader. Look at this fella. All right, Jack. Well, we'll talk to you again during the podcast as
Good
the
luck.
series goes on. If you'd like to be
Yeah.
on an episode, thanks for being
Yes,
on,
thank
mate. You were always a laugh
Likewise,
on the
thanks for
show, and I
having me.
enjoyed talking to you now, fella.
I did too. Likewise. Thanks, guys. I'm excited to see what happens here.
Well, that was Jack, your man, and remember,
He's a good guy, Jack. I like Jack.
you can watch Jack, Jim, and the rest of the crew on Hulu for The Snake, which is on Fox. But yeah, check that out on Hulu in your own time. We've obviously had a few different topics here today, Jim. We've spoken about the No Kings rally. We've talked about Israel, Iran. It's all Blake. Here's an interesting one from my own personal life. My girlfriend did something equally as grotesque as what I see in the Middle East.
What? Show the face?
How dare you?
No, because it was a Middle East thing.
Okay,
I wasn't saying your wife,
thought you
your
were saying
girlfriend.
she's
No,
so-
she's very pretty. She's very
she
pretty.
listens to this.
She's
And
very pretty.
very,
Hey,
very,
Annika.
very beautiful woman.
Hey.
We went to the movies last night to watch the
Oh,
new.
that is terrible.
We watched the new Wes Anderson.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
I love Wes.
I have a kid. I have kids, so you know my life has meaning. I don't have time to go see Wes Anderson movies in the cinema. I can see them at home, but I'm not going. I'm not making a trip.
Jack, can you edit this so it's like shot like a Wes Anderson movie where we both sit weird upright and you put a strange camera angle? I know you don't get paid to do this, but could you be as good a cinematographer as
Come
Wes
on,
Anderson?
you went and saw Wes Anderson.
And my girlfriend is a Midwestern swine. And we got popcorn yesterday. Now, did you know in America, for our European and our Aussies out there that
Yeah.
watch this,
They have a butter tap.
you know, they've got a butter tap.
Yeah, they got a butter tap where you get your popcorn, which is already pre-buttered, and I don't know if it's just melt. It can't be just melted butter because it stays in the same consistency. It's got to be filled.
This
with
is
shit.
what's fucked up is I went, oh, you're not going to re-butter the popcorn. Then I look at the fucking machine. It's not even butter. It's butter flavoring.
Yeah.
So it's just some strange yellow oil that goes on top of it.
It's yellow grease.
Did you see?
It's
I
gotta
put it on my Instagram.
It's got to be as carcinogenic as anything that's ever been made.
This is
yeah.
RFK's nightmare, this thing. And so this is what she does.
I've never used it.
She
Right.
gets a straw for the frosty, the thick straw. She puts it to where the butter dispenser comes out so that she can put it to the different layers of our popcorn. So normally you just hit the button and the butter goes to the top. Annika puts a straw that funnels down so she can hit the middle layer, and then she lifts it further so she can hit the bottom layer, so that the whole thing is a congealed
I look
mess.
forward to when you're an old couple and she's lost both of her feet and you have to take care of her.
I'm already telling her I've got a battle with obesity. I'm getting fat. And then she does this.
Again, he's losing worse than Iran. He should be called No Ran.
Well, I keep Tehran my pants every time I get into the car.
I run, you run, we all run.
Do you know that was my first joke I ever wrote when I was about, I think it was in grade 7. Mm-hmm. I tried it in old British, like nightclub style. Ready? I ran into a fellow the other day.
Oh, did you?
I said, where are you from? He said, Iran. I said, not far then, eh? Come on then. What was the first joke you ever wrote at school?
Oh, at school, I used to just tell old pub jokes. I did a Jesus on the cross joke when I was 17. I don't remember writing a joke before then.
We're not really joke guys, you and I.
Yeah.
not our cup
Yeah,
of tea.
I never wrote many puns.
But that's the most disgusting thing I've ever fucking seen was my girlfriend buttering that with the artificial goop.
Did you shag her when you got home?
No.
Yeah, that would have been. It would have been like, you know when
I'm
like
I'm
you
allergic
hit,
to popcorn,
you
so
know
I was
when,
farting.
yeah,
or
you know
whatever
when
it
you
was.
hit like a jug of water that's half full and it goes blum blum like that. If you were banging into it, you would have heard the butter just going backwards and forth, and her stomach just congealed.
What actually happened to me this morning is she goes to work at about 9:30 and she laid in bed with me the whole time, and then she goes, right then, so you're not going to have sex with me. And she just gets up, gets dressed and leaves, and I was like,
Did she put out any feelers?
no, my girlfriend has this. there's always like jokes about women not being able to put signs out there. Like she might lie next to me and do this, and then I'm just staying there watching the morning news or whatever, and she'll go, "Fine, I guess you're not in the mood."
Oh, yeah, I'm the same thing.
What the fuck was that?
I'm watching TV. I'm watching morning TV. My wife's giving her alleged signals, and I'm like, I can't see the TV if you sit on my face. And then she's like, I thought we were going to sex. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why would
Watching a
how would I fucking know that you wanted sex?
I do feel for her because she's sitting there. I haven't seen her
Someone
for 10
has
days.
to feel for her.
And I've just got this something going like this. She's like, I've really missed you when you're away. And I'm going, the Ayatollah was nearly hit. They're reporting that Trump stopped the hit on the Ayatollah. She really does deal with an autistic man.
Yes. You may. She's Jimmy Kimmel's assistant.
And
No,
then
I'm kidding. I like Jimmy Kimmel a lot.
Then you deal with that every day. Anyway, all right.
All right. So that was the podcast. We all had fun. To summarise, Amos's wife is a swine, I think he called her.
Midwestern swine.
A Midwestern swine. A middle of American pig of a person who eats processed butter that she filters down like layers of lasagna, right?
And then she pours...
with a straw.
And then she pours a bunch of crunch.
Jack's about to tell us that the video has not been recording.
It might have stopped.
Oh, well. We might have got our image back, but yeah, my girlfriend.
Sorry about that.
And this
Jack
country,
Jack fucking fucked up there. That was Jack's fault.
terrible cuisine. Fucking Jack.
All right. Okay. Well, that's enough of the podcast this week. I hope you learnt something. We spoke to Jack from the Snake. We talked about how your girlfriend is a swine, I believe you said. Called her a swine on the air. And we also talked a lot about Iran, and that's what's happening at this moment. Thank you for listening. If you are listening and you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. We need subscribers, and tell your friends, because you listening to the podcast keeps the podcast going. You got anything you want to say?
Well, I'm gonna re-plug some stuff, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
So I'm coming to Chicago, to Rosemont on the 11th and 12th, and the Chicago Zanies downtown on the 13th. And then I'm at Just for Laughs. I'm at the whole Just for Laughs for the very honourable show, the Nasty Show,
do the Nasty
plus
show.
my own show. So if you guys are over there in Montreal, please come to that. I'm looking forward to it.